generation to learn is actually by reading together. And when we heard about this new book, and it's actually a set of 3 books by Great Bar-based author George Rosling, we wanted to talk about it. The name of the book is The 4 Friends for Life, and I'm really chuffed to say that George joins us now. George, a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Hello, hello, hello.
Now, where did this all come about then? Because this book, it's called The 4, and this is book 1 of 3, isn't it?
At the moment.
At the moment,
yes.
And it starts off with Friends for Life. Where did this all come about for you then, with The 4?
And to be honest, from the idea came from years of working in jobs along with people from different origins and ethnic backgrounds.
Right.
I worked in a hotel and catering industry for 15 years throughout the UK, Blackpool, London, Torquay, and places like that. And more recently in the automotive industry, where I was driving a minibus, taking drivers to pick up vehicles all over the UK.
Right.
Now, I must have met people from almost every country on the planet.
That's fantastic.
And I always found the majority of them to be helpful, respectful, polite, understanding, and grateful. It's something I've always wanted to share with people. When I decided to write a children's book, this was my opportunity to do so.
And when you were looking through the characters
yes.
for these young people,
fantastic.
So
the characters are unbelievable.
So honestly. Where did you find the inspiration for these characters?
Well, Audrey is a Christian girl.
Yes.
She goes to church and stuff like that with her grandparents because her parents don't go.
Okay.
Then you've got Agrippa, and Agrippa is an African lad, and he's from an African traditional background from his parents. Then you've got Brielle, and Brielle's a Jewish girl from a Jewish family. So I got the 4 together, and what I wanted to do was to teach the children about different, being cultural aware, if you like, to learn about other different cultures and how they operate, if you
now,
like, and how they...
Have you drawn very much from, if you were to look at your experiences of travelling across the country, but also living in Great Bar? Great Bar is very multicultural as well, isn't it?
Yes,
so have you drawn your experiences from the people that you've met over the years?
Well, it's like I say, during the drive, I've been done the driving on a minibus for the last 4 years, and I've met so many people, and it's been amazing, to be honest. I mean, the lads that I've met have been, like I said, have been helpful, and then you get if you're picking them up, because you pick different people up every day.
Yes.
You wouldn't pick the same people up.
Right.
So every day would be different 7 drivers that you take around the country.
So how much of research did you do with each character and the culture that they sort of represent in this book, while still maintaining being children?
From school books.
Right.
Because in the schools themselves, they've got books that are about maybe the African culture. You've got the Muslim culture, you've got the Jewish culture, and the Christian culture.
So these are all
individual books that are in the schools that I found out.
But what you've done is you've actually brought that together, haven't you?
To get the children together.
I think that's fantastic. So this is, at the moment, book 1 of 3 books. So this one is titled Friends for Life.
Yes.
Is it really important? You mentioned, the world that we're living in at the moment, with Brexit. We've had such a rise, we know, of hate crime in the past, 2 years. And there is a sense of perhaps insecurity amongst some communities.
And mistrust of the other.
Of the other. You're absolutely right, Sonny. So
but again, with this, I think a lot of it's ignorance.
Right.
They're not sure of what their cultures are like.
Right.
And with this, I mean, the actual children, when they get out of the school classroom, they go and visit each other's houses. And they learn about the cultures, they learn about what they do, they eat the foods that they eat, and they get involved in them. If you actually read the book, you'll see.
Yeah.
It actually tells you everything.
Do you know, you've reminded me, because I grew up and I went to a Roman Catholic school, and growing up in my school, my brother and I were the only 2 Punjabis in the whole school.
Yes.
And I remember a friend of mine, Thomas, he was a young Polish lad, and, we used to get on really well. And in the playground, I don't even know how the conversation came about, but I still to this day remember it so vividly, like it was yesterday. He said to me, "What do you have for dinner?" And I said, "Well, the same as you." And he said, "Well, what do you mean? What do you eat when you're at home?" And I said, "Well, my mum makes dal and routine. And his face, he looked at me like, what on earth is that? And I said, chapatis, it's yellow, it's lentils, sometimes I have potatoes. And he couldn't fathom or understand. I said, well, what do you eat when you're at home? And then he told me that, sometimes his dad would do grilled fish with some, boiled vegetables. And I was really shocked by that. But it was this whole, both of us, 9-year-olds or maybe 8-year-olds in the playground, discovering that even though we were both British, both born and brought up in the same country, because of our parents' background, just our dinner, the food that we ate at home was different. And that's what you're talking about with this book, is getting those conversations going, isn't it?
And it tells you what foods that each of the cultures eat as well, because it's in the book.
Yes.
And it tells you, they taste them, they think, well, and some of the Muslim lad, he says, look, we eat with our right hands.
Okay.
And the children say, oh, eat with your hands. And he says, it's up to you, if you'd like some cutlery, I'll give you some. No, we're going to stick with
it.
Oh, lovely.
So they're doing exactly the same thing.
So
eat with their hands.
We're going to go to a song, we're going to come back. But I have to ask you, when you go abroad, do you immerse yourself in the culture? Or are you like me, who thinks, right, I'll stick with the sausages, beans and sausages?
When I go somewhere, I'm like an explorer.
Oh, okay. So
wherever I go, I like to go and explore.
Brilliant.
The wife loves to sit by the pool or sit by the beach, sunbathing. But I'm off.
I'll see you in a bit.
Stay with us. It's lovely having George Rosling with us, author from Great Bar, and we'll continue having a chat with him. If you want further details, by the way, the name of the book, which I think is just fantastic, it's really exploring all different cultures, and it's a children's book. It's aimed for 5 to 11-year-olds. It's called The Four Friends for Life, and it's available now on Amazon, or you can even just go to austinmacauley.com. Sunny and Shay here on BBC WM 95.6. We're having a great chat today with Great Bar-based author George Rosling about his new children's book. It's called The Four, and it's a set of 3 books. Now, head teacher Miss Lani, who is from Feasy Park Farm Primary School, has said this book is about 4 children who get caught up in a difficult situation. It is an interesting read, and it captures the reader's attention straight away. I think this book will help primary age children to learn about the value of friendship and also treating each other with respect. And George, I wanted to ask you, how important was it for you to get this kind of feedback from teachers, from head teachers like Mrs. Lani, that, this is an educational book as much as a fun read?
Yeah, it was very important. What Mrs. Lani's doing as well, recently I spoke to her, they're going to do a narrated stage play at
of
the
this
school.
book.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Of book 1.
Congratulations, that's great.
So she's going to get each of the students, or the other pupils, playing their parts, and she'll have a teacher behind the curtain or whatever doing the narrating. Fantastic. So I've done a script and everything that I'm going to give to her. And also on book 1, Friends for Life, I'm getting it animated. So that book will be available in cartoon format.
Oh, isn't that fantastic?
And what we're looking at doing, I've left my full-time job during the day now, and me and my daughter Eva, we're going to go out on the roads around all the schools, primary schools, to show the cartoon to the students in assembly, and then answer any questions afterwards. So we're looking for anyone who's interested for us to come to the school. And we'll all CRB checked and everything like that. We got a certification, of course, to go in. So we're looking for schools that are interested in us visiting there, showing the cartoon to the children, answering any questions, and being available to them for the day.
That's fantastic.
You said you get out your day job, but then when did this storytelling, come to you? I mean, was it your...
Sonny?
Yes.
Less than 12 months ago.
Really?
Absolutely, yes.
That's fantastic.
Well, to start with, I wrote a novel, a thriller.
Okay.
And then I was like 10 chapters into the sequel to that.
Yes.
And I thought it's too early for that one. I'll do a children's book.
Right.
And then that's what I got.
And this story came to you.
And the story came to me because I discussed it with a couple of friends in the pub, as you do.
As you do, yeah.
And I said to them, look...
Market research, Shay.
Oh, yes.
I had to visit a few pubs.
Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, of course you did.
But with that, like, I asked friends, saying, look, what do you think it is? About different cultures, blah, blah, blah. He said, what a fantastic idea.
Brilliant.
And everybody I've gone, and I've showed them the book, the flyers, showed them everything, discussed it. They're over the moon. Absolutely over the moon.
I think it's a brilliant concept. I really do. And I, I'm looking at it, think I wish we'd have had this when we were younger.
Who was the storyteller in your life? Who was the person that inspired your imagination because was my gran and my mum. They used to tell me brilliant stories, and they were all handed down to them through generations.
Yeah.
And they would make it up every time the story would be told. Slightly little changes, because nothing was written down.
Well, I didn't have anybody personally that told stories. It was mainly from the TV.
Oh.
Like your Jack and Ori.
Jack and Ori,
yes.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Don't worry, we know.
Yeah. And the storytellers and stuff, you know, the different ones.
Yeah.
That's what got me. But with the actual, I'm not a big reader, believe it or not.
Okay.
And when I wrote the book to start with, I was quite shocked at
Yes.
myself. And then when I got into the children's books, I've done it again. And it grabs your imagination. Honestly, it really grabs your imagination.
And then you've got a publisher who got on board
and you
straight
learn
away.
So much. Yeah. You learn so much as well when you're doing it. When I was looking to each of the cultures,
yes,
it's unbelievable what you learn about the different things.
You mentioned earlier that you are keen, you're going to tour the country, but obviously you're from Great Bath, so I'd love for any of the schools here based in Birmingham and the Black Country to get in touch with you. The 4-childrensbooks.co.uk. George, such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Wish you the best of luck with this. I think it is going to be fantastic. And definitely something even I would look into for baby Tyra, because as children get older, you want to read to them, don't you? That's what it's all about. Well, best of luck. Lovely having you here.
Thank you very much.